Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Just Ask Jen. I'm super excited today to talk about some ideas for wrapping up the school year. So let me know in the chat who's here and who's tuning in. This is a live Q&A. If you're tuning in live, please ask those questions. If you're watching from the future, thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time here, my name is Jennifer Hall, and I'm an educational technology specialist. And here in Atlanta, and that means that my job is to train educators on the best ways to integrate technology in their standards-based classrooms. I also get to push in and work with students as well. So today I'm going to be talking about some ways to wrap up the year, some tips and tricks, and some upcoming PDs and stuff. So, so good to see ya. Hey, Shannon, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate that you are here. So today is, again, drop questions in. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. Use hashtag ask, and I'll watch that in the chat to know that you have that question, and I'll do my best to answer it. If you happen to be watching this from the future, please add that comment in the on YouTube or Facebook, and I'll do my best to answer that question. So let's dive in. And one of the first questions I got asked right now is, I'm getting ready to wrap up the year. I need to get organized. What does that look like to get ready for next year? So what are some tips for cleaning up your drive for the end of the year? So we're both a Google and a Microsoft district here in Atlanta. So these tips will work with both Google and for OneDrive, but you might want to go ahead and start cleaning up your folders now and do a little color coding as need be to kind of archive things you don't need to have access to. I'm a big fan of using folders and subfolders so that you can kind of drill down, and I actually label my folders to say 2021, so I know that everything is in there, and there's a ton of subfolders, and then I can archive those things. I'm also a big fan of anything that needs to be at the top of your drive. If you add an asterisk to the title of it, it will actually appear alphabetically at the top of your drive. It just kind of helps with finding things, because the more you add to it, you're going to have a lot of folders and a lot of resources in there. I'm also a big fan of adding emojis to both folders and file names to kind of help things. And using the start option to get back to those easily find things that you need to use. Another tip is using that priority workspace to put those main things you're working on as you're wrapping up the year in that one place. Now, if you are like one of my teachers I met with today who shared the awesome news that she's retiring, I'm super excited for her. She's like, what do? There's things I want to keep and there's things I don't want to keep. And so we talked about purging those things that you don't want, but just in case, it would be good to go ahead and you can actually share your files with your personal drive and then make copies of them, because just sharing them once the drive gets closed down, you're not going to have access to it anymore. But you can share it and make copies into your own drive. The other option is, especially with Google, if your Google admin will allow you to use a tool called Google Takeout. In our district, it's a request you have to make to our admin to say, hey, I'm leaving the district. Whether you're retiring or you're moving to another district, you just want to be able to take those files. You can request Google Takeout be turned on and your files will be moved. And that's another option for students that are moving on, our seniors that are graduating and they're getting ready for college and they want to have access to those resources. So a couple of tips for organizing, and then also taking your resources and moving them using Google Takeout or sharing those files. So for instance, if I wanted to get a little bit more organized, I can move some things to my personal Gmail from my work Gmail if I want to be able to have that. Something to keep in mind when it comes to Google is that as we move forward to next year in the new school year, is before we had what was unlimited storage. Well, it was like a 1,000 gigs per user, and then you would not have your Google files count against you. So like slides and Google Docs did not count in your space, but now that is, with the new structure, that is going to count towards that. So like I know a lot of people that have a ton of videos that are offloading that to YouTube. So instead of storing a lot of videos, store them in on YouTube and just have them be unlisted, and then you can share those links out. It's another way to kind of clean up your drive and get it a little more organized. So today I'm going to be focusing on kind of some end of the year projects, things you can have your students doing. I can't believe it, but our last day of school for APS is next week. Next Wednesday is our last day for students. It's hard to believe. It's kind of crazy. Some other schools are wrapping up about that same time here in Metro Atlanta. For those friends that are tuning in from all around, you might be in the next couple of weeks. Most people are around Memorial Day, maybe that first week of June. So right now it's that wind down time. So you might be thinking, well, what can I do to engage my learners at the end of the year that will be kind of fun? And a lot of these are tools that you might already be using. Some might be that you aren't as familiar with. But I wanted to highlight a couple of ideas of ways that you could engage your learners at the end of the year. So Flipgrid is probably one of my absolute favorite tools. And let me know in the comments if you are a Flipgrid fan like I am. I definitely caught the Flipgrid fever a long time ago. I think it's an amazing tool to foster student voice, but I think it's a great way to get students engaged at the end of the year with having them kind of do their reflections. How did you feel about the year? What did you learn? What were your takeaways? And maybe even start doing some goal setting for next school year. Like, what is the plan for next year? What are your hopes for the summer, anything like that? And what's great about Flipgrid is you can moderate who sees it. So it can be a one-way conversation where your students are sharing and it's just with you, or you can have it turned on and allow students to see each other's responses, which that really fosters that community. And we've been virtual. We still have some students that have come back face-to-face in the last couple of months, but the majority of our students are still virtual. And it's just a great way to foster that. I see right here, Sheila says, you love Flipgrid. Yeah, Flipgrid is fantastic. If you're not familiar with Flipgrid, I have a couple of tutorials on my channel that show you how to use it with a bunch of ideas, like 10 ideas of how to dive in and start using Flipgrid right away. The other great thing about using Flipgrid is it's a great way for you to do like the 8th grade awards program. I'm working with one of my schools that the students are doing their farewell. I love it. Sheila says, you used yours for your advisory for homework. That's a great way to use it, to have that connection with your students. I actually had a teacher that created a moderated topic, and it was literally like the venting Flipgrid. So students could feel a safe space that they could vent how they were feeling, what was going on, and only the teacher was going to see it. And it wasn't content specific. It wasn't tied to an assignment. It was just that opportunity to share. So Flipgrid is a great tool for that. Another way to use it is I've got 8th graders at one of my schools that they're doing their end of the year farewells. The teachers are using it as well, because Flipgrid is a great tool because it's obviously can be accessed on any device, whether it's a mobile or laptop or Mac or Chromebook. Students can record these videos, and teachers are doing this as well. What's great about Flipgrid is it will allow you to create what's called a playlist. So you can create that playlist and actually have what they call a mixtape. So you can have all of these great responses that you pull in from different topics, and it's just a great way to showcase students' work. And you can even, this is kind of cool, you can download each of the individual videos and you can bring them in to a video project. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but you can also even download the student selfies, and it's a great way to kind of create a scrapbook, which leads me to my next suggestion is using Book Creator. So Book Creator is an awesome tool that allows for students to create different stuff. Sheila says she used Flipgrid for her PSAs for community service projects. Our students can earn 1 hour for this assignment. Oh, that's awesome. Love it. Great use. So Book Creator, you could have students create a portfolio about what they've learned in a particular class. I'm seeing some more folks tuning in here. Ontario, Canada. Oh, thank you so much. We only use WeVideo or Screencastify. Okay, got it. Okay. Well, same ideas. You can still have students do those WeVideos, and what's great about WeVideo is that collaboration piece and the fact that you as a teacher can monitor. That's great. And Screencastify is great as well, because you could still have students record using Screencastify and put them all on one Google Drive and create kind of a playlist that way. But thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in all the way from Canada. I appreciate it. Hey, what's up, Fonz? Good to see you here. Yes, Book Creator is amazing. So how about a portfolio of work? Because you can add in all different things that you want into Book Creator. You can add in videos, you can add in images, they can do original drawings. So you could actually create a class book, like, you know, a memory book. And it's a great way to showcase their work. Another one of my favorite tools that I think is a great way for students to create. And I think that that's really, we want them to consume information and to learn things, but when they become the creators, that's really where the spark happens. And so Adobe Spark is a free tool from Adobe that allows you to create videos, The difference between using Adobe Spark Video versus Flipgrid is record it. You can do some cool editing and do some neat tricks like screen recording and adding in different elements, but you have to publish it then. Adobe Spark allows students to work on it as an ongoing thing. So the last couple of days, they can actually work on it and come back to it and then publish their work. But Adobe Spark also has the ability to create pages and websites so they can create, again, a portfolio showcasing their work. Exactly. It was a way to have a portfolio and learning artifacts. See, look, great minds, Fonz, exactly. That's Adobe Spark is great for that, to be able to showcase that work. Additionally, if you're trying to build a portfolio piece and you want students to kind of showcase their best work, you might want to consider taking a look at Wakelet. If you're not familiar with Wakelet, it's a great content curation tool, and you can add in all different things, including Flipgrid, any video from your Drive or your OneDrive. You can also add in images and text, and so you can even make them collaborative so students can create an original piece of work added to that Wakelet collection. And I actually on my Wakelet collection, might want to check that out. I'm gonna hop over there real quick. Love that you can go live here on these things. And I just want to show you that on Wakelet, I actually have a template for a portfolio that you might want to check it out. Sheila asks, is Adobe Spark free? So there's free and there's freemium. So free meaning, yes, you can access Adobe Spark free for education. The paid version is if you want to remove their watermark and put in your own branding. So you can use it for free and you can get it turned on and have access to it in your if you're a Google school for sure. So I'm loading here my Wakelet, and if you're not familiar with it, it's super cool because it has the ability to create different templates. So I've got a couple of different ones here, but here is an example of a project showcase. Because Wakelet allows for collaboration, you can create one template, share it out with your students. And how Wakelet works is I can add something in as a student, and I'm gonna pick on my friend Fonz that's here with me and say, Fonz, add your assignment as well. But Fonz can only add his stuff and remove his stuff. He can't go in and remove mine. If he's not liking what Jen put in there, he can't go in and remove it, which is really cool. So I can notice I can add in all of these options here, links to all different types of resources and images and things right there. So many cool things. Fonz says, yes. Fonz, you wouldn't try and take my stuff out of the assignment, would you? You wouldn't remove it from the Wakelet. But it's just a great option for being able to collect resources in one space to showcase student work. And because you can add in text, you can add in links to Microsoft Sways, those Adobe Spark. So really now you're mashing up, like have them create a video, explain their learning, and then all of those videos can be added to a Wakelet collection so you can run them through there. And look at that. Thanks, Fonz. I'm glad you would not delete my work. Appreciate it, friend. All right, so that's Wakelet. If you're not familiar with it, I do on the channel have a couple of tutorials about Wakelet, some ideas for using it. It's just a really powerful tool, something you might want to consider. Two other project ideas I wanted to share was, yes, Sheila says, students can add resources to Wakelet too. Yes, they can. So you can go into, and thanks for asking that question. When you go in here, if I go to, I can invite, and I can actually give a code link. I can actually give a code to students, and I can choose who my contributors are. Like right now, I'm the only one in it, but I can actually add in people. Your younger students, if you work with elementary students, don't have to have an account. You just leave it open, give them that share link, and they can still add to the collection as well. So yes, that's one of the powerful things about Wakelet is that you can add to it. We did a project with one of my teachers, a CTAE teacher, I can talk today, an engineering teacher. The students had to do a coding project, and she wanted them to be able to share it and everybody be able to see each other's work. Technically, they could have added links into Google Classroom, but that means you're clicking here and clicking there and all of that. So she's like, well, we put in a Wakelet collection. It's a visual way to see each of those links, and they can only add to it. They can't remove from it. And that means that they could all see it, and you can also see how many times it's been viewed. Students, now they've added in the feature where you can actually like things, so people could give likes, thumbs ups to things that they looked at. They can add comments. It's really, really cool option. So definitely check that out. So two other ideas for end of the year projects. One of my most favorite projects that I've done in the last couple of years has been using Google Slides to create stop motion animation. And that is so much fun. Sheila says, awesome. You're super excited. Please check out how you can use Wakelet for that collaboration. And hey, Pam, good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for tuning in. So stop motion animation, super simple and easy because students are familiar with slides. You can do the same thing with PowerPoint if you're in Office 365 school. The idea is that students add elements to their Google Slides and then they move them incrementally, and then as the slide goes through, you can set the timing. It looks like a stop motion animation. So it's a great way for students to explain their thinking about something and maybe do a review activity where they can take and give them some choice. Choose one concept you learned in science. Maybe it was about physical changes. Maybe it was about types of energy. Or in social studies, you might be talking to them and say, hey, what was an historical event that you would like to kind of create a reenactment? You could do that very easily using Google Slides or even PowerPoint to create stop motion animation. Yeah, stop motion is so much fun. It's a game changer. And what's really cool is you can actually add in additional resources. Inside of Google, you can search for resources from Google, but you could also use third-party resources if you have access to them. Like here in the district, we have Discovery Education. Students can bring in images that they found safely in Discovery Ed and bring them into Google Slides, and they can create those animations. Yes, is there a tutorial on the stop motion animation for Google Slides? Sheila, yes, I in fact have a tutorial / excerpt from a lesson, and actually we're gonna hop over here real quick so I can put it in the chat so you can grab it really quick. I did this with 6th grade science, and so this is actually we're gonna see how quickly this loads for me. We're on the struggle bus here, but I'm going to find it under my lesson ideas, and I will drop it in the chat. If I can't find it here real quick, we will. It is available on my channel. It's loading. The computer is working super slow. It's been a long day. The struggle is real. All right, so let's go over here to. Oh, I think I put it under my Google stuff. Let me see here. Google Slides, beginners, how to. Let me see here. There we go. Creating interactive. That's Google Slides. That one. Nope. I know I've got it in here because I've got a couple of different Google tutorials. I will find it. All right. Let me take a boom. Thanks, Pam. I gotta find this though. I'm like on the struggle bus. Hold on. Tech tips. Let's do it this way because I've got so many videos, not enough time. Stop motion. Let's just Google my own video. How about we do that? And Sheila says you teach 6th grade science. Oh, fantastic. All right, we're gonna search this here and see if it will pop up. Boom! How to create a stop motion animation with Google Slides. I knew it was going to be there. That is my lesson right there. Let me grab this link and I'm going to put it in the chat so you can grab it. There you go, Sheila. It's in the chat. Thank you for everyone else who's tuning in that they were watching that fun stuff. There we go. It just went to you. You should be able to grab that video and check it out. It's super fun way to do it. Pam says she was gonna look for me. I found it. I did pretty good, right? You gotta love how I could Google on my own channel. So my last one that I want to mention for project ideas. Now this is again students creating because we want to maximize that creativity and engagement at the end of the school year. Is using Soundtrap or another tool to create a podcast. Let students talk through. Awesome. Sheila says you got it. Awesome. Thanks. All right. Let me know what you think. You just gave us a tutorial on how to find tech tips. I did, yes. Search tech tips 411 and then what the topic is, and hopefully I've got a tutorial on it. And if I don't, let me know something. I'd love to know if you have any ideas of other videos I could be creating because I'm diving in and doing some more creation in the next couple of weeks. So Soundtrap, super cool tool to create podcasts, engaging students, talking through what they've learned. So you can bring in fun tools like Soundtrap, or if you've got iPads, you can use GarageBand. There's a couple of different options because we have students that don't want to be on camera, but they're pretty good with being and doing voice recording and sound effects and stuff, and you can have them do a talk through their thinking about what they learned. So podcasts are a lot of fun. I have one of my media specialists that's been working with, she's got a book club group, and the students are producing their own book club book review podcasts. They are fantastic. It's so much fun. So there's a couple of ideas for the end of the year. Let me know in the comments, did you get at least one idea or one tool that you want to check out that you think, hey, I could definitely do that. That would be a great idea. I'm excited about using that with my students as we wrap up the year. I'd love to know. Drop them in the chat. Anything you picked up that you thought, oh, that's a cool idea. So another question that I've been getting a lot lately, in fact, I met with a teacher just today, is we need to, what are some tools for creating end of the year celebrations? You know, we're wrapping things up. What does that look like? Still virtual. Some people are a little bit of hybrid. What's going on? So I actually met with a teacher today. I've got some more things lined up in the next couple of days. She says, yes, Minnie, not enough time in the month. Well, you know what? This was wrapping up, but guess what? Maybe you sparked some ideas for getting started for next year. I see stop motion and soundtrack. The most reluctant students go on camera are the ones with parents in IT. This is true, Niley. You are true. That is true. All right, so let's talk about end of the year videos or celebrations, things that you're trying to do. So let's end of year videos. I mentioned Flipgrid. It's a great way to get the students to create the content, and then you can pull those clips down and put them together. In fact, we did that last year, and I'm working with a school for this year's celebration. 8th graders are recording what they're going to be, what they want to say, and then the 8th grade teachers are pulling that together from Flipgrid, because you can download all the videos and you can bring them into a couple of different tools. So if you're on a Windows device, like in our district, we oh, you are so welcome for the recommendations. Can't wait to see what you use with your students. Please let me know. So Windows has a video editor it's not super fancy. It's got a couple of features. It's not robust, but it will get the job done if you're just trying to put together a couple of videos. One of my other new favorite tools right now is that I'm really loving. Delina says, are you kidding? Only one. You got more than one idea? All right, that's fantastic. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. So end of the year, let's look at Recordcast. Let's take that piece of videos, all the little snippets and the little pictures you've taken, put it in Recordcast. I worked with one of my schools. The 8th grade teachers were creating a video about the college that they attended for College and Career Readiness Week, and I introduced Recordcast, and they were blown away. I do have not one, but 2 tutorials on Recordcast on my channel that walk you through exactly how to use it. It's web-based, it's free. It allows you to have up to 8 simultaneous recordings that saves in the cloud / on your computer, and I kind of explain all that in the tutorial. But what's great is since it's web-based, you can work on it. You know, it doesn't matter what kind of computer you have. You can screen record. You can also record your camera. You can upload clips, but it has a really cool and robust set of elements that you can add in to jazz up your videos. So you can put in titles and moving text and stuff like that. It's just a lot of fun to create. So they made a really fun video with Recordcast. So if you're looking for something to create a video with already created content or to record to it, check out Recordcast. Another one that's really cool is Kapwing. Has a number of video creation tools. They've added in green screen, and they just added in some additional recording options for voiceover. I think it was multi-track. Kapwing has the free version, and then they have the paid version, but for the free you can do what you need to do. It just saves your stuff for like 7 days, and then after that it deletes it. So, you know, it's an ongoing project for a couple of days, which is fine. And teachers really enjoyed that. So we did an 8th grade celebration video with that last year. Teachers are working on it right now. A couple other tools you might have at your disposal is if you are an iPad school or you have Macs, iMovie comes already loaded. It's more robust than the Windows video editor, but you can dump in a bunch of pictures or videos and then add transitions and do some cool stuff to create that end of the year video that you want to showcase. Another way to create a video is actually using PowerPoint. PowerPoint allows you to put everything together so you can put the pictures the way you want. You can add in transitions, you can add in text, and then you can export it as a video, and you can even add in voiceover and music, and that's a really cool option as well. I did add in here, this is Streambeats, which is a website that has free, copyright-free music. This is great. So if you're making all these you're making all these videos and you want to be able to house them on your YouTube channel, you don't want to use music. We know we want to use the popular music the kids like, but you don't want to get a copyright strike if you're loading it on your YouTube channel. So Streambeats is a great free resource that you can add in some pretty cool music for free. So I did want to add that in there as well. So, so once you've made your cool videos and stuff, you want to figure out how you want to showcase it. So you might be considering, well, what does my celebration look like in this new pandemic type of situation? And this is what a lot of my schools did last year, and they're implementing these same plans this year, is that they're actually going live to stream those events because of social distancing. They don't want a bunch of people at the school. So we now have access in APS to Zoom, and Zoom has the ability for you to live stream either to your YouTube channel or to your Facebook page. So I'm working with one school. They're using their YouTube channel. They've been using Zoom to go live on YouTube for all of their parent information sessions, for their awards, all that through the whole year. So they've been building a bank of videos for to connect to the community, and they'll be going live to their YouTube channel. Working with another one of my schools that they're actually going to their Facebook page because they realize that's where parents are going there. So meeting with a teacher tomorrow to make sure that she has all of her settings set up to be able to go there. So you can do that inside of Zoom. And if you've never done that before, I actually have a tutorial on my channel that shows you that as well, that walks you through turning on the settings and what that looks like. Another option is if you're looking for something a little more robust to do some kind of cool stuff, you can use StreamYard. And we did that with a number of my schools last year. And StreamYard is actually how I'm streaming to you right now. StreamYard gives me the ability to add in these the questions live on the screen, so you can have it be more interactive. It also allows me to do things where I can switch my cameras around, and I can be like, all right, you're just gonna see me now, and then we'll go back to, oh wait, you want to just see the screen. I can do stuff like that and make it a little more engaging for that. So a little bit more flexibility with using StreamYard. StreamYard is free to go to one destination. So you could either go to YouTube or you could go to your Facebook page using StreamYard and signing up. If you want to have the ability to go to multiple places, I think it's like $20 a month. Here's what's great about it. You're using it for your end of the year celebration, but it's also something that you can use to stream upcoming school events. So you can actually use your phones or computers. It's web-based, no software to download, and you can easily stream those events for people to tune in, which is pretty cool. Also, if you're a Google district and you have access to Google Meet, you might want to consider using that because you can stream from your Google Meet to your YouTube channel if you have those settings available. In addition to that, you can also have those celebrations in Microsoft Teams. I've seen that as well because in Teams you can set it up that you're streaming it like a webinar so people can tune in and it lives on your streaming service. So there you go. That is a couple of options for end of the year celebrations. And I'm super excited to work with my schools over the next couple of days to get them squared away for their programs next week. So let me know in the comments, what are you doing for your end of the year celebration? Did you get an idea? Or maybe you were like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. Or you've got another great idea that you're implementing. I'd love to know. Drop a comment in the chat. Let me know in the comments, what are you using for your end of the year celebration? And what are you doing for end of the year projects as we wrap up this school year? It's been definitely an interesting school year, but I think that our students have met the challenge and exceeded expectations, and I'm super excited for them. So shameless plug, I wanted to share a couple of things that are upcoming for me and ways that we can connect if you are interested. So I do have some upcoming sessions. If you tuned in last year, I did a summer PD series, and I am putting that together right now. My teachers have been replying to a survey I sent out for folks. Wow, look at this. Natalie, you don't end until the second to last day in June? Oh my goodness. But please tell me you don't go back until like August, September. Please tell me that, right? Here in the South, we go back earlier and then we get out earlier. So hence the reason, you know, we're getting out when we are. Wow. Some schools that my teachers have mentioned a couple of these, but I'm definitely sharing this episode with them too. Thank you, Sheila. Appreciate it. Okay, you go back after Labor Day. Okay, good. Natalie, you need a little bit of a break. You deserve it. So summer PD series. Let's think about that. I'm working. Let's see here. I'm working on the plan. I've gathered some topics and I'm getting some votes, and based on that, I'm gonna put together a a calendar, so stay tuned for that. It's going to share out some different ways, and I'll go live on the channel just like this. I realized last year doing that came in handy. People got to tune in live, like those folks that are here live with me now, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. But also people could check out the archives. So then when teachers would go, hey, what was that topic? And I can send them the videos. So stay tuned for the summer PD series. It will be kicking off probably in another week or so. I'm finalizing it. I'm going to give my teachers a couple of days. I know that they're not going to all want to tune in during their summer vacation, but it should kick off in June. So stay tuned for that. In addition to that, super excited to announce I will be presenting at ISTE Live in June. So if you are attending ISTE, I'd love for you to tune in for the session I've got on using Wakelet for differentiated lessons. So I'm going to highlight some of those templates I've created and some ways that you can use Wakelet to engage your diverse learners. So if you happen to be attending ISTE, let me know. Let me know in the comments if you are attending ISTE. I'd love to know who's going to ISTE. Oh, thank you, Fonz. Can we rename it Jen's Summer of Awesome Sauce series? Awesome Sauce. Truth. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are hilarious. Thank you so much for that. So also, super excited to share out about the first annual Green Screen Summit. So if you are interested in using green screen to engage your learners, you definitely need to check it out. This is the first year that they've had this summit. I'm one of over 20 presenters that are going to be participating. So if you're interested, please check out this link right here. And I need to drop that in the chat here really quick, so I'm going to do that. I should have been a little bit better about this. I hopped from an ISTE event right to this. It helps, Jen, if you type the right thing. And I'm going to go here and type in. We're going to make sure I put the right in. There we go. It's going to come up and say Erica Stanstrom's course because she's the leader of the summit. So I'm going to drop this link in the chat. So if you are interested in it, please check it out. And join me and a number of other green screen gurus that are going to be sharing for the summit. And an answer to your question, Sheila, the question is ISTE online or in person? This year it is online. It is completely online, which means you can tune in live for the sessions. And if you have, you can also watch the archives later, which is kind of cool. So this is the Green Screen Summit. Super excited about what's going to happen. There's some green screen gurus. If you are interested, definitely tune in for that one. And last but not least, I did have to share this because I'm super excited, is that I am one of the featured speakers at GATC. So if you're a fellow Georgian or you want to come to Georgia for a face-to-face conference, we are going to actually be in face-to-face at GATC this year in Atlanta. And super excited. First, this is a safe space right here. This is my first big featured speaker gig. A little nervous, super excited, honored to be presenting this year. And if you can come and be in Atlanta, it'll be face to face in November. So a couple of things that have been super exciting that I wanted to share. So I wanted to highlight a couple other things that I think have been kind of fun that I've been playing with lately. So I kind of always like to share what's my new favorite app. What am I using a lot? Last episode, it was all about Canva and the mobile app, which is still a game changer, and I still use it every day to create my t-shirt of the day photo. But right now, my new favorite app is actually Duolingo. I decided that I've been trying to do other things that I find fulfilling, that are not work related, but that bring me joy. And so I decided that I took Spanish. I'm going to age myself here. That I took Spanish. I graduated from high school. It's been 30 years. So yeah, it's my 30th anniversary. So, and I took it my freshman and sophomore year in high school. Didn't even make it 4 years. So, thank you so much for the kind words. Oh, awesome. Hopefully y'all can tune in for any of those sessions. But what I would say is that, I realized that, I think it'd be good to try this and give this a try. And the gamification of Duolingo has me hooked. I I know, Pam. Yes, I need to pick up the tennis racket. Yes, it's been a long time since also the 30 years. But Duolingo is fantastic. So yes, Anna, you love it. It's a great app. And what's cool is, so there's the free version of the app, and it's also web-based, so you can actually access it on a computer screen, which is great. You can also shows you graduated 50 years and still learning about it too. You graduated 50 years ago. You're 50 years young. Wow, that's awesome. Well, if learning is important, and so I decided, I hadn't taken Spanish in all that time. What's amazing is I realized I actually have retained a little bit. I just have never used it. So I've been doing that, and I'm on a 16-day streak, because the gamification piece of, you get like awards for continuing and doing more time and completing tasks and stuff. So I'm hooked. What's great is Duolingo does have an education account that's free. So if you're an educator that teaches a world language, or you just want to have access to it, you can actually sign up for an educator account and actually create classes. I found that out, and I was like, that is super cool. So I did want to share that out. That is my new favorite app that I'm using right now. So watching the comments come in here, all sorts of stuff here. She says, I'm old but don't look like it. I love it. You know what? You're only as old as you think you are. So for me, I always tell everyone, even though my hair has gone gray, there it is, and my screws are loose from being a middle school teacher for 17 years, but I'm super young because I taught middle school for 17 years. They kept me young, so I appreciate that. So yes, I am super competitive. Yes, hashtag Jen for the win. Pam's just busting out all my personal business. How many days in a row on my Apple Watch? Currently, it's coming close to 1,500. My current move streak is 1,592 as of today. So my goal is, when I get to the 1,600, I get to get a new Apple Watch, because I'll have had this one for so long. Fonts, yeah, there's nothing wrong with silver hair. Yeah, I say that it's I've earned all of these. I've earned them all. I love it. All right, folks, this has been super fun sharing with you and talking about some ideas for the end of the school year. I'd love to know, again, in the chat, what are you excited to try, or a tool that you're interested in, or an idea that you got, or what you're going to be doing as you wrap up this school year. Please let me know in the chat. This has been episode 6. I'm hoping to continue this. I've been doing it once a month. Hopefully you're finding it beneficial. Let me know in the chat. Do you think this is a good way to spend a little bit of time with me to learn some things and answer some questions? Sheila says, enjoy the PD day. Such a wonderful surprise. Thank you. Sheila, I'm curious. How did you find this session? I'm just curious how you decided to join me and hang out. I'd love to know. So, stay tuned for upcoming PDs. I'll be sharing those out, and they will show up as live events on the channel. So if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like this video, so that YouTube gets all the magic and knows, hey, this was good. Let's share it out with other folks. That would be awesome. And you got notified. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm just super excited for, PDs coming up this summer and getting to share. And to be honest, I'm kind of excited that we're going to get back to normal a little bit. We're going all back in face-to-face for the new school year. And so planning for that, super, super excited. So if we are not already connected, please check out resources on techtips411.com. If you're looking for any tips, you can check them out here on my YouTube channel. If you're a Facebook fan, please go ahead and like Tech Tips 411 on Facebook. I'd love for you to do that. And if you're on Twitter, you can connect with me at APSITGen. Super excited that you spent some time with me. Thank you all so very much. Thanks for watching.